After the violence in Kathmandu, Nepal, the situation is under control on Thursday. Despite this, the army has continued the curfew in the capital and its adjoining areas for the third day as a precaution. Meanwhile, efforts to form an interim government in the country have intensified. The second round of talks between Gen Z and officers began at 10:30 a.m. at the army headquarters. Earlier on Wednesday evening, the first round of talks did not yield any results. The army had asked all parties and leaders to give their opinion. According to media reports, Kulwant Ghising, who is called Nepal's light man, is leading in the race for PM in the talks. At the same time, there is no consensus on the name of Sushila Karki. The final decision is yet to be taken. The protest is heavily driven by younger Nepalis, students, social media activists, recent graduates who are demanding systemic change. They reject the status quo and believe the current political elite has failed them. Their demands include formation of an interim or caretaker government that is non-partisan and free from political baggage, fresh elections and constitutional reforms, accountability for corruption and misuse of public office. One prominent demand has been for Sushila Karki, Nepal's first female Chief Justice, to lead such an interim government. Gen Z leaders have openly endorsed Karki as a clean, principled figure who symbolizes justice and impartiality. Negotiations between the military and protesters have focused on finding a leader acceptable to both sides. Two names have emerged. Sushila Karki, revered for her judicial integrity and seen by many as a figure above party politics. She has given verdicts that have significantly challenged corruption and political overreach. Kulwant Ghising, known as Nepal's light man for his role in reducing chronic power outages during his tenure as head of Nepal Electricity Authority. He is praised for administrative efficiency and technical leadership. While proponents of Karki believe she best represents the Gen Z demands for neutrality, many reports say that no consensus has yet been reached. Some Gen Z groups favor Ghising, others are still pushing strongly for Karki. The army reportedly asked all political parties and protest leaders to voice opinions. Confusion and conflict also flared between different protester groups about where leadership talks should be held. Some insist negotiations belong in the president's office rather than the army headquarters. Sushila Karki's popularity is not accidental. It reflects several elements that appeal directly to many Nepalis right now. As Chief Justice, she issued landmark decisions that took on powerful figures and defended civil liberties. Her rulings often emphasized fairness, transparency, and the rule of law. Being the first female Chief Justice in Nepal gives her both symbolic weight and moral authority. She is seen not just as a jurist, but as a figure capable of restoring dignity to institutions that many believe have been compromised. Karki studied politics at Banaras Hindu University in India, where she earned her master's degree. Her education abroad gives her credibility with educated youth, while her upbringing and early legal career in Nepal keeps her connected with local concerns. Unlike many political figures aligned with existing party structures, Karki is viewed by many protesters as above political maneuvering. This non-partisan posture is especially appealing at a time of deep distrust in political parties. Her name has attracted support beyond Gen Z. Mayors, civil society groups, and other public figures have reportedly endorsed her role as interim PM, seeing in her a unifying figure. Despite the broad support for someone like Karki, there are significant obstacles. No formal agreement has been reached yet. Differing voices among protesters themselves, apprehension from political parties, and military stipulations make final decisions difficult. The casualty toll continues to be significant. With over 1,300 injured and dozens dead, the risk of escalation remains if tensions aren't carefully managed. For Karki or anyone selected, securing legitimacy not only from the military or protesters but from the broader population and constitutional process will be critical. Nepal at this moment stands at a possible turning point. Amid widespread discontent and political paralysis, Gen Z has emerged as an unusual but powerful political actor. Their insistence on clean leadership, accountability, and justice has brought non-traditional names like Sushila Karki into serious contention for one of the highest offices. Whether the agreement on Karki or Ghising comes through, or another figure entirely, will show whether Nepal's political system can adjust to the demands of a populace that is deeply unhappy and increasingly politically engaged. In the meantime, the country remains under curfew in uncertainty, but also in hope, especially among young people who believe a different leadership could forge a new path for Nepal. For more updates, keep watching the News Point.